I have sent over 1 billion marketing emails. I know, that sounds insane, but across the 200 brands that I've worked with, it all adds up. And after sending that many emails and testing literally thousands of different subject lines, email copy styles, email designs, from A to Z, these are the exact lessons that I've learned in the process. If you're sending emails right now, these lessons that I'm about to share with you could easily double your sales in literally just a couple days. So let's start out with the list. Tip number 1 is your customers need new. Customers crave new. And there are thousands of brands out there doing the same exact things. Your email marketing dies the second you start recycling the same content, the same structures over and over and over again. Look, I'm an email marketer and I can admit that email is already boring. And if you mix an already boring channel with boring content and the same styles every single day, your customers are gonna get bored and they're gonna stop interacting with your emails and you're gonna lose money. The truth is, the inbox is more competitive now than it has ever been. An average customer is subscribed to over 50 different newsletters. And if you aren't giving them a reason to open your emails, they're gonna go check out all the other brands. So what should you do? First of all, you need new content angles. One email, you might be focusing on a customer story. The next one, maybe you do a myth-busting email. The next, maybe you do a sneak peek. The next, maybe you do a fun angle like we asked ChatGPT to rate our products. Maybe the next email, you do a puzzle or a quiz that reveals some sort of mystery discount for the customer. Whatever it is, you need to be testing all sorts of different stuff. You can't just do product highlight, testimonial. No, mix it up. And on top of that, we need new designs. I know it's super easy and tempting to just get a template and just reuse that template for all your emails, but you just can't do that. The customer is begging for dopamine. They need dopamine. What creates dopamine is newness. When anybody sees the notification from your brand, if they already know exactly what they're gonna get, then they're not gonna click on your email. If every single time it's something new and the customer doesn't know what they're gonna get, it's kind of like a game that they need to reveal because you have completely different designs every single time, then they're gonna continue to engage with your emails. And then you have a higher likelihood of making sales. Don't send the same layout every time. Switch the order, change the flow of your emails, try new structures, try long form versus short form. Whatever you can do, just keep your customers guessing. Kind of just a lesson, but nobody's gonna see your great emails and your emails aren't gonna make money if you have no traffic. You could have the best emails in the world. They're sexy and they're high converting, but it won't matter if nobody's on your email list. If your website has no traffic or your pop-up form sucks, you're literally just talking to yourself. I audit over 10 7 to 9 figure e-commerce brands every single week, and every once in a while there's a brand where I look at their email strategy and all their emails that they're putting together and I'm like, this is awesome. And then they're like, why are our results so bad? And I say, there's nobody entering or receiving these emails. You need to drive traffic to continue to grow your list and get people interested in your brand. Whether it's meta ads, organic content, SEO content, partnerships and influencers, it doesn't matter. You just need eyeballs. But most importantly, you need to capture them. And that means having a banger pop-up, which we're gonna talk about later. The bottom line is sometimes the problem isn't your email content or the emails themselves. It's that you don't have people to sell to. And even then, if you do have people to sell to, sometimes people get sick and bored of the brand. The people who are most likely to convert are your newer leads that are entering the email list. If you have a 100,000 person email list that you keep trying to sell to, maybe that customer's just done with you, but they're still on your email list. There's a lot more high value subscribers when it's people who subscribed to your email list a couple days ago or within the past 30 days. They're warm and ready to be converted. So just make sure that you're always driving traffic because email needs it to run effectively. Tip number 3, and I talk about this a lot, so you might be tired of me saying it, but you need to be implementing text-based emails into your strategy. Graphic-heavy emails look pretty, they're awesome, and they have a time and a place, and they should be the majority of your email marketing strategy, but they often can feel like ads coming from a brand who isn't really thinking about their customer. That's where these text-based emails come in. They look like a real person typed them out, and it could be just a friend reaching out to you. While all these brands are sending these crazy, graphic, blinding designs, these text-based emails break through the noise, they get replies, they feel personal, and in our hundreds of tests across all sorts of different brands, these consistently get the higher click-through rates and revenue. Now, I'm not saying don't use graphics at all. They're very important. They should be the majority of your strategy because, like I said earlier, customers need newness, they need dopamine, they need branding differentiation, which is why these graphics are so important. They need infographics to display information visually rather than blocks of text. But if you're only sending these sort of emails, you're missing the opportunity to stand out. These text-based emails should be used sparingly and for very important emails that you need action now. If you use them too much, they're gonna lose effectiveness. Typically, what we do for our clients is we're sending email campaigns 3 to 4 times per week, and about 1 in every 5 emails will be a text-based email from the founder or somebody from the team. And then we also use these text-based emails within our automated email flows. So inside the welcome flow, we're gonna have a welcome message from the founder. In our abandoned cart and abandoned checkout emails, we're gonna have a text-based support style email, either from the founder or from a customer service representative. In our winbacks and our post-purchase flows, we're also reaching out from the founder to remind of the brand mission, why the customer bought from us in the first place, to try to get them to come back. Use these text-based emails. Don't overuse them, but use them, and you will make a lot of money. Tip number 4, you don't need insanely fancy email automations. I see this all the time, and I fell victim to this for the longest time. Overthinking your email automation. segmentations. Creating email flows that have 12 emails each, having every possible split and filter imaginable, having product-specific branches for everything, and customizing each email for each specific customer persona. And then you put all that work in just for the first 1 to 3 emails in each flow actually do all the revenue. And that's the truth of it. 80% of your flow revenue is going to come from those first few emails. That's it. And if those aren't good, the rest really aren't going to matter. So my tip is to spend a lot of time really optimizing those first few emails. Start with all the basics: your welcome flow, browse abandon, cart abandon, checkout abandon, and post-purchase flows. Put 2 to 3 killer emails in each of them. Just make them broad and then test from there to really refine them. And then you can scale from there and start adding all the crazy stuff. I talked to a lot of brands that have been updating their flows for like 6 months because they're doing all this crazy stuff and they're planning all of it. They're going through all sorts of different revisions when they could have been done 2 months ago if they focused just on the ones that were making them money. Just keep it simple and high converting, because what's also nice about only having a couple emails to focus on at first in your first flows is that you're going to get a lot of traffic to be able to run A/B tests and get results quickly. If the first email in your flow splits into 4 different subsections and 1,000 people go into this flow, you'll get 250 here, 250 here, 250, 250. And that's really not a large sample size. If I were to be testing this email right here off 250 people, I'm not really going to know if my test that I ran on this email is conclusive and I can end it. Whereas if we just have 1 email right here and 1,000 people enter into this flow and we have this A/B test, then we can more quickly run this A/B test, find the winner, test more, and optimize even further. Yes, we want to do all the advanced stuff. We want to add more emails into our flows, but my tip is to just really focus on those first few emails because those are the real money makers. Tip number 5, stop with the over segmentation, because hot take, most segmentation is a waste of time. You don't need 87 lists based on product preferences, gender, location, birth date, what color underwear the person likes to wear on Tuesdays. You don't need that. Really, the only lists for most brands that really matter are your engaged subscribers. People who have opened or clicked an email or have been active on your website in the past 30, 60, 90 days. That's your moneymaker segment, and that's going to be the one that you should spend the majority of your time with. Cast a wide net to as many engaged people as you can and just send to them at a high frequency. We need to be sending emails 3 to 4 times per week. I'd rather send to 100,000 people 4 times than send to 20,000 people 4 times, but still I see brands hyper segmenting to make these hyper customized emails. These are great, but you get more bang for your buck by just sending to more people. So if you're already sending 4 times per week to your engaged email list, which is kind of the amount that I found to be optimal for email results, and on top of that, you want to do some segmented emails to different tighter lists to give them a more personalized feel, awesome, do that, please. That's awesome. What I don't want you to do is to be worried about segmentation when you're only able to get out 1 to 2 emails per week. Frequency, frequency, frequency first, segmentation after. Just to be clear, when I say stop over segmenting, I don't say just blast emails to your whole list. No, that's how you get terrible open rates, and then you'll end up in the spam folder. What I mean is just create your engaged segments that I went over earlier and just send your emails to those segments. That is how it's done. Tip number 6, everything revolves around your pop-up form. This kind of ties into the traffic point I brought up earlier, but the funniest thing I found in sending over 1 billion marketing emails is that the easiest double in your email marketing revenue is not going to come from the actual emails you send. It's with the pop-up form that's on your website. This is because so many brands overlook it because it seems so simple. Let me just put up a pop-up form and cool, I'm going to be getting emails. But most brands that I audit will do that, and their pop-up form will only convert 3% of their website visitors into email subscribers. Cool, you're probably like, oh, that's awesome. But what if I told you that our client average for pop-up forms is 10%, meaning 10% of website traffic goes to email subscribers into the email list. But most brands I audit are at 3%. So if we just brought them to our client average from 3%, let's say under, to 9%, we just tripled their email list growth. And if we ran that for 3 years, we'd have 3 times the amount of people on our email list, 3 times the amount of people to sell to, and in turn, 3 times the revenue. And why this is so key is because it's so simple. You can just tweak a couple things in your sign-up form and take it from 3% to 9%. This is why I obsess over pop-up forms and why I think they are the most important part of your email marketing strategy. The more people you can get joining your list, the more people you have to sell to and make money. And to get a little bit more advanced here, this is also going to significantly reduce your cost per acquisition. So if you're running a ton of ads, driving a ton of ads to your website, and people are just going to your website, just briefly checking it out and then leaving, which most customers are doing in 2025 because there are thousands of other brands in your niche that the customer can go look at. They just go to your website and then leave, you lost that customer forever. But if you have a hyper-optimized pop-up form, that customer can go to your website, interact with your pop-up, enter their email into your email list, and now you're able to send them nurturing content to get them to convert. So without a pop-up form or a low-converting one, you lost that customer forever. The high-converting pop-up form, be able to gather more out of your website traffic and send them the content that they need in order to purchase. Spend time on your pop-up forms. I have videos on my YouTube channel on how to create these and create them high-converting. Tip number 7 is frequency is king. One of the main problems with 95% of the 7 to 9 figure e-com brands I audit is that they just simply aren't sending enough emails. Their emails are fine, but they just aren't sending to their customer list enough. The inbox today is so competitive. If you aren't sending at a good enough frequency, your customers aren't going to see your messages and your emails are going to get buried with all the other brands that they're signed up to email lists for. Sending once per month, even once per week is not enough. You're just leaving way too much meat on the bone. Your customers are going to forget that you exist. The optimal amount that I found working with my brands is 3 to 4 times per week, roughly every other day. This is where customers can kind of get used to seeing you in their inbox without being a little bit too much, where if you send once per day, your unsubscribe rates can really skyrocket. Now, I know what you're thinking, 3 to 4 times per week, that's a lot. I would unsubscribe immediately. And you know what? Maybe you will get a couple more unsubscribes when you send at that frequency, but a lot less than you'd think. And I mean, a lot less. If you don't believe me, try sending at this frequency. When you rarely send to customers and they all of a sudden out of the blue receive an email from you, they're way more likely to unsubscribe compared to when you send consistently and the customer expects you. That's just my experience. And as long as you're sending the right content, you're not sending the same templated emails, you're not sending the same basic emails every single day, and you're releasing dopamine with fun copy and dopamine releasing designs, the customer isn't going to want to unsubscribe from you. This is the tip that I receive the most backlash for, but the numbers speak for themselves. Like, why would I be lying to you? Just focus on making sure your content is new, good, and dopamine releasing, because then the customers won't unsubscribe. Just try it for yourself. I could keep talking about these email tips for hours, but I could just act on them for you. If you run a 7 to 9 figure e-commerce brand and you want me to personally audit your email marketing strategy, book a call and we'll chat, and you'll learn how we've made over $100 million for our brands in the past 18 months. Let me know what tip you resonated the most with below. I'll look forward to seeing what your guys' favorite is, and if you have any more that I missed. That does it for this video. Want to keep this as short and sweet as possible. Hope you got value from it. Check out this video if you want even more in-depth strategies and tips on email marketing in 2025 and 2026. Again, thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one.